The deer sent you to me, didn't she? Tragic. And during my lunch. Let me get my equipment ready. Now that I finished up my lunch, we can proceed. What I'm going to be needing to do is to cut off all of your hair. I'm going to be cutting off, literally, all of your hair on your head. That way no one suspects that you're a human. Logic and point. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be tying back your hair. So that way, I can focus on certain parts of your hair and not be distracted by the other parts of your hair. So, just give me one moment. Here we go. I'm just going to be putting that on your head. There we go. Let me just tie up your hair a little better. There we go. Now I'm just going to be brushing your hair. That way I know the consistency of your hair, the texture of it, and how well it will do with my scissors. So, I'm going to be... Your hair's quite long. That means we're going to need to cut a lot of it. You have to make the decision. Do you want me to cut off all of your hair, or do you want to be a human sacrifice? That's a big decision to make. I understand that you've grown your hair for quite a while, but it's not going to mean very much when you're being, eaten by deers. That's something you have to think about. There we go. Your hair's very nice and soft. It's going to be a shame having to cut it all off. But then again, it's your own fault for walking into the wrong woods. Maybe if you would have sensed the presence of cannibalistic deer like the bunnies do, you would have stayed away from their territory, like we do. We hide in caves and in holes in order to stay away from them, risking our children being eaten by the lawnmower machines, just because we know that fate would be better than the fate of being a human sacrifice by the deers. Or being any sort of sacrifice for the deers. But it's okay. I'll help you camouflage yourself so that way the deers don't suspect anything of you. Now for this side of your hair, I'm just going to be combing the long parts, then I'll work my way up towards the top of your head. That's where we really want to put the focus on, considering how that's going to be the only hair left. That way it looks like fur. Don't you like the look of fur? I have fur. The deer has fur. The only person who doesn't have fur is Tolstoy. Tolstoy doesn't have any fur. But then again, it's because he's an owl. Or she's an owl. No one really knows anymore. Tolstoy has feathers, not fur. There we go. Now I'm going to be brushing the tops of your hair, so give me one moment. You have to do that. Once your hair grows back, if you don't die as a human sacrifice, you always start from the bottom of your hair and then keep working upwards. That way, all the roots that you have, all the knots that you have going down from your roots don't get accumulated at the bottom. And once you try to brush through those knotted up hairs, you start giving yourself split ends. So by just brushing off the knots that are down here gently and working your way up, it'll prevent that from happening. So try and get into the practice of that once your hair grows out, if you survive the forest, of course. Now let me just see. I'm really hungry, but it's okay. We're normal bunnies. We're not cannibalistic bunnies. We're not carnivorous bunnies. We just eat carrots. On in the day of a bunny's life, trying to do right, so no human sacrifice happens. Okay. Now, for the other side, we've got to brush all those knots out. So. Okay. I'll save my carrots for later. That'll be dinner and lunch and breakfast and supper and second breakfast and brunch and whatever else, snacks too. Carrots are good for all occasions, I promise you that. Now, I'm going to be brushing the top of your hair now. This is going to be the last time you have your hair brushed for a while. Maybe forever if you don't take care. I'm in the day of a bunny's life, trying to keep people away from human sacrifice. It is what it is right. It is right to keep people from dying. In all honesty, bunnies are good Samaritans. I've never thought of it that way. Thank you. What's a good Samaritan? Oh yeah, that's right. That has to do with that one guy that we keep being associated with for some reason. What's his name? Jesus? I don't know. There we go. Yeah, that's the other thing that I'm always wondering about. Why do you guys think that we lay eggs? We're not birds. Anyways, it's time to start cutting your hair off. So, brace yourself, because I'm going to be hacking away. Hey, my brother Billy was killed because he was hit by a car and a car just passed by. That reminds me of my cousin Billy. That was sad. But oh well. Okay. So now that you're bald on this side, I'm gonna make you bald on that side. So my poor little paw is getting tired. I'm sad now. Your hair is hurting my paw. That's not nice. I'm trying to keep you from being a human sacrifice and you're hurting my weeble paw. It's not nice at all. But anyways, time to be a good Samaritan or whatever that is. Trying to get close to your head. As close to your head as I can get, so that way it looks like you're having just fur on your head here. Let me take off the little thing that I put on there in the beginning. There we go. Now, it's time to bring that down as close as possible to your head, to your scalp. My apologies, I'm just learning English. I can only speak bunny and deer. English is my third language. I'm multicultural that way. All bunnies are. My brother Rodrigo, he was killed by a car. But oh well. I have 8 other brothers and sisters. I think you're done now. And you look fabulous here. You look beautiful. You look like you have fur, and it's so adorable. It's like so cute. You look like a little deer now, which is the whole point, because if you don't, you'll be a human sacrifice, and then, you know, the deer who helped you out would also be, you know, cannibalized, so no one wants that. But you look so cute right now. It's like adorable. But anyways, what I need you to do now, in order to fully help yourself out to get out of this forest, is to visit Tolstoy, the bird that I was mentioning in the beginning, the owl. Now, only talk to Tolstoy, because the rest of the birds, they're scary. They're two-faced. They work for the great prince, who is traumatized. I mean, the deer that you talked to was also traumatized, but the great prince is a psychopath. Like, it's not nice. But talk to Tolstoy. He is the owl, or she is the owl. No one knows who anybody is around here. But talk to Tolstoy. She'll, or he'll, or it'll, or whatever, will help you out in trying to get out of the forest, and also to try and blend into the culture of the forest, so that way you don't slip up and reveal yourself as being a human being, or at least a stranger to our forest. So he'll, or she'll, or whatever will teach you the ways and then teach you the way out as well. Okay? Okay, great. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going back to my dinner, my breakfast, my lunch, whatever it was that I was eating. I don't know, I sometimes forget. It really gets frustrating sometimes, but that's the life of a bunny. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna be